Hello, chat. Hello, hello. Welcome in on this lovely Thursday. It's basically my Friday because I have no class tomorrow. And then, maybe you can consider Wednesday my Friday since I skip one of the two classes I have and the other one's a virtual class. So, the responsibilities today are slim. Speaking of, I need to finish drafting this email to my professor asking to excuse my absence again. I actually didn't send them an email last week. I just kind of didn't show up without a word. I'm almost certain today is an equally unimportant day. I asked my fellow classmates, and they said, yeah, we didn't do fucking shit on Thursday. I mean, the people that didn't do shit probably were, just lazy, because it was a free work day. So we didn't learn anything on that day of the week. And I don't expect to learn anything today. I mean, professor said that they'd go over some stuff that might help with our next assignment, but, that's, whatever. I think I'll be fine without, the 20-minute lecture before, an hour of rework, and it's just not worth the trip to the campus, in my opinion. Which, again, distinct failing on my part to, properly schedule my classes for the semester. I won't be... The only reason I'm skipping, quote-unquote, skipping class again is because I actually feel, fucking sick as fuck, too. Legitimately, I'm not... It was worse on Tuesday afternoon, and it's been getting slowly better since, but, yeah, it's not great. It's not great. It's taken a lot more out of me, even to just ride the bus to campus. It's just been more, demanding physically. Yeah, that's me. Kapow. The sickest shroom in the world. I want to say it's more of a mental condition than let's see, English attendance. I'll just freaking header the email attendance. Good evening. Why is the text red? No. I don't need a background color. Hello, Fab. Thank you for the care package. Sorry, I'm trying to format my email, and it's very difficult, not because I'm bad with technology, but because I have a custom plugin that inverts colors dynamically, so I don't have to see any, very bright, flashbangs on my screen, but it kind of breaks the UI of a lot of websites, unfortunately, but it's the price I pay for eye comfort. How are you doing? Thank you for the care package. I will drink some water. I gotta draft this email before I get started with Limbus Company. Cooking for my sister. Let him cook. He'll feel better. Hell yeah, bro's cooking. That's what's up. In a less ironic sense. That sounds very nice. Sounds like a nice thing to do on a Thursday evening. Good afternoon, Professor. Excuse my absence today. I am feeling very ill. I'll say, humbly requesting you excuse my absence today. I'm feeling very ill. Also, there are some absences on the software we use for attendance, where I was indeed in class that day. Not sure what's up with that. I think I got to class like 10 minutes late last Tuesday, and it just didn't load in for me in time, if I recall correctly. Thank you for your time. And consideration. And understanding. Very respectfully, Morel Schumer. I just almost typed that in my email. My professor. Okay. There we go. That would be really embarrassing. Oh, classes, I know. I have a math class, and my math class is fucking 2.5 hours. And honestly, I had class on Tuesday as well when I like started feeling sick, and I could not, like, I was like bedridden. I loaded into the class on my freaking monitor, but I was bedridden, so like I couldn't participate. And eventually, I had to, like, my migraine was getting so bad I had to close out of the class like an hour early. Luckily, it's a really simple math class. It's, you know, freshman year college math, so I can back brief myself with the. I mean, first off, it's stuff I learned several years ago, so it's already in my head. And second off, it's simple enough material that I can back brief myself with the digital material and no professor, like, well enough. Math can be cursed, yeah, I know. I'm majoring in electrical engineering, so I can imagine the kind of math I'm gonna have to learn for my bachelor's. Let's get Limbus loaded. I do want to do the Wordle and stuff, but we can do it later. Like, I don't want to be streaming the wrong category for too long. Engineering? Yes, that's the goal. Electrical engineering. Why I chose something so difficult when I'm kind of just going to college for the paycheck from the government, and I don't really want to do anything in that field when I'm out. I mean, it's a practical degree. Like, I feel like it'll flex my brain muscles well enough. Like, the value in challenging myself in university is, it's good for my, like, mental health, legitimately. Because if I was just doing something easy that I could piss off all for all of my study, years, like this year. Like, this year's easy and I like it, and it's fine, I think, that my first year of college is really easy because it sets the precedent for me to just smash the rest of my, bachelor's, because I'm gonna get a 4.0 on, all these gen ed courses, because, like, uni is better for mental health? Weird. Okay, so, like, you have to understand that after high school, I worked a job for 3 years, and my job was ridiculously easy and boring, and from that boredom, my work ethic declined, my mental health declined because I didn't feel like I was doing anything important. I kind of hated my life for a while, like the environment. Okay, the one thing, I can't complain about the environment because there were a lot of forests. There were a lot of forests, and it was way easier to go looking for mushrooms, like just right after work. I would take my bicycle, I'd ride out into a forest trail, and I'd look around for, some fruiting bodies, and I can't really do that anymore. I mean, I can, but I'd just have to ride my bike for, like, several miles to, a place that's, like, distant from the municipality, like, zone. Because, in my region, like, there's no expanse. The environment's a little worse for the development of fruiting bodies in the first place. So, it's harder. It's a lot harder to find mushrooms here where I live now than where I lived for my job. For the last, like, year and a half. Because I moved around for my job a lot, too. What was I talking about, even? Uni is better for mental health. Yeah, okay, so the big picture is that my job was boring, and I never did anything useful, and, like, with every single day that passed, I, like, started to dislike living more. Because it was so monotonous and quagmire, really, that like I started to feel, you know, a sort of existential dread started to set in, and I wasn't being challenged and I wasn't improving as a person because I was just sitting there on my ass, like waiting for something to do. And then whenever something came up, it'd be like fucking stupid, and like it wouldn't be anything fulfilling. Like I'd have to. I legitimately spent like several months to put it in perspective. Quagmire, yeah, like drawl and slow and a little depressing is what I mean by quagmire. Sorry. A quagmire literally is like a marsh or like a swamp-ish. So like maybe I'm using the word wrong, honestly, but when I think of a quagmire, I think of like a depressing swamp. I thought it was about Family Guy quagmire. Giggity. That too. That also works. Yeah, I googled the textbook definition of quagmire to better explain it, and the image of Family Guy, alright, popped up. But yeah, like I intentionally picked something challenging and something that is pragmatic if I do end up like wanting to work, which I don't think I will. Like I'm just gonna keep picking up my neat bucks from the government and streaming for as long as society will let me, I want to say, because I like streaming way more than I like, you know, other jobs that are boring and unfulfilling and taxing, because I like having more time, I like having more freedom. You know, if I could have like a job that was like remote work, pick your own hours, I would fucking jump on that. But as far as jobs like that go, I mean, streaming kind of is that in a way. I pick my own hours and it's remote work. It's just not the only thing that's missing, because the passion is there and I really enjoy doing it. The only thing that's missing is like the stability of employment, because like it doesn't make a lot of money. But that's why I'm studying right now, you know? Some complementarianism to my lifestyle, because a guy's got to eat, you know? Like I can't just stream and not make money. And the reason, okay, like I'm getting paid to study because of some government benefits. So like it's a very specific, because I live in the USA, you don't normally get paid to study, but I'm legitimately getting like housing and you know, like subsistence allowance to study, which is why I kind of picked what I wanted to. I'm telling you, if I wasn't literally getting paid to study right now, I would not be going to college. I would just be streaming full-time still, you know, 6 days a week, 4 to 6 hours a day. Like, I'd much rather do that. But studying, like, it's good for me. It makes me a better person, and I'm getting money to do it, so I'm eager to learn. I'm eager to learn for the first time in my life. I'm student scholarship, military veteran benefits, actually. Hello, Golden Jude. The government is paying me to study because, you know, I did my time. Sorry, I just took a bite out of my bread. Sorry, Absolute Banger is playing. I gotta mute the Limbus company menu theme. As good as it is. I mentioned yesterday on the Discord. Are you in the Discord, Fab? I mean, if you'd like, I will just drop the link there. I don't know if you're in there or not. I honestly haven't paid attention to like the members, because I kind of just scream into the void there all the time without like looking if anyone's online or not at this point. What was I saying? I mentioned on the Discord that I wanted to learn how to play the Limbus company menu theme on the piano. And then I made absolutely zero effort to relearn the piano like I said I would that day, because I was studying. But, you know, it will cut, like today, after stream, I have some, it's my weekend. My weekend literally starts after stream and my math class. So I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to study, to stream, to die, to sleep, perchance to dream, and do, my personal projects like Japanese and the piano, which I haven't touched in a very long time. I mean, I've looked at my Japanese, but it's been like several weeks at this point since I've, put any concerted effort toward learning anything new or cementing what I know, so, my Japanese is still very weak. In spite of the amount of time in spite of my start date and, trying to learn Japanese, it's weak for what it should be, I think, and I can always change that. It's not too late to pick up the pace on my Japanese studies. It's just whenever I have free time and I'm not spending it, video gaming, I'm spending it on my classwork. So, realistically, if I wanted more time to, pursue personal projects, I need to reduce the video gaming and, doom scrolling. But, to that end, I think I would need to be, in a better mental health state, which is a really bad excuse for not being productive and, doing the things I want to do, but, I don't really have a good answer for that. I'm just not very happy, and it makes it hard to focus on the things I actually care about. Except for streaming. Streaming, I can put all that stuff away, so I don't even know why I brought it up in the first place, because that wasn't really appropriate. I'm sorry. My bad. Huh. I'm saying this all with a smile on my face, for what it's worth. I'm in a good mood. The rare Morel Shrimmer good mood. It's just why I'm streaming. I'm happy when I stream. There's something I want to ask, but I feel like it'd probably be a bad idea. So we're just gonna go back into the event, I think. Because I've spent enough time yapping anyways. There's many things on the docket today, chat. I was watching a Northern Lion VOD. And he has a docket. I noticed in his chat he has a docket command. You type in !docket and the chatbot will tell you what is going to be played that day on stream. And I really like that. I like the word docket. It's very formal and official sounding. And you know me, I love formality. I love formality and that sort of faux aristocracy language and verbiage. I love sounding educated. I use stupid ass words like docket. I mean, docket's not even a rare word. I'm pretty sure it's a pretty common word. But it just sounds nice to me. I like the intonations of saying the word docket. What's on the docket today? A brief written summary of a document. A formal abridged record of the proceedings in a legal action. A register of such records. A list of legal causes to be tried. To make a brief abstract of something, such as a legal matter, and inscribe it in a list. That's the definition that we're using. No. That is for the word docket, docketing, the transitive verb. Then docket noun we're using. A calendar of business matters to be acted on, agenda. That is the word docket, which I value so highly. Okay, so we've had our yapping. I'm eating my delicious treat of bread with cold coffee because I poured it while it was boiling hot and I kind of forgot it existed. And here I am starting my stream remembering it exists. So I got coffee, Cheetos, chicken. I have not paused the music, I just freaking turned the volume down to 2%. I hear it in the background and it's murdering me. Smart words, brain is melting. It's the idea. If my chat members can leave my stream slightly, more in a slightly improved manner, like one more word than you didn't at the start of the stream, then I consider that a great success, I want to say. We like to learn, chat. We like to learn. It's called we do a little learning. We go the night before the primaries, we do a little learning. It's called we do a little learning. And I learn words in my streams too, which I consider to be a great value. I read in my novel slop, my Project Moon slop, my fucking Project 7 slop, I think they're called, the guys that made Umineko. No, they're called 7th Mod. Wait. No. Umineko when they cry. Study the books a little bit. Surprise gank on the Otis. It's made by 7th Expansion. Okay, I was like, I had the wrong noun. Look at this. 120% boost.
이번 의뢰는 몇 발이나 들고 가야 하냐?
Brain is overloaded. I want to reset. Okay. Well, you come to the right place because we are playing Limbus Company now, so everything will be reset once our brain recomposes itself with a Limbus slop. Of course I can't read. I'm a Project Moon fan. Does anyone else Don Quixote loud and cute and funny? What? I fucking changed it to Japanese by accident? Hold on. Please, brain. I recognize this symbol. I recognize this symbol. It's on the tip of my tongue, this symbol. A little bit, practice the Japanese a little bit. Alright, well, I'm pulling up Jisho to try to see if I can confirm my suspicions. Yep, Sugoku. That is Sungo. The character Sungo. Sungoku. Awfully, very immensely. So he's really saying like incredible? Sungoku ellipsi. Dekakunai. No. That's not ka. That's chi. Oh, no, that is Chikara. I think. Chikara kunai. He's saying like I don't know what he's saying. I need to change back to English. I could almost translate it. I almost made it. But how do I exit? I'm watching Limbus streamers since March, yet I still don't understand what it's about. It is about 12, idiots. And they're like Tardguard. Wait, I can't say that. 12 idiots and their, ringleader. Killing people. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing more. It's not, there's nothing special about it or compelling or anything like that. It's just 12 idiots. 12 idiots and yeah, for $1. Just ignore my vernacular used to refer to Dante, because that was it just, you know, some kind of Korean magic. Yeah, something like that. They're all stupid and they're all friggin' interesting. The staggered text font just changed. Need to oversee my cooking. Have a good luck. Thank you. I'll do my best. Thank you, thank you. I don't always have a good luck, but when I do, it's on something that didn't matter anyways.
교전 시작합니다.
영원히 잠들어. 그 삶에 마침.
I'll go. You know what? I just realized I skipped all the text because it was in the wrong language. I will go back and read it after the combat, I guess.
당연한 걸 한 것 가지고 굳이 칭찬할 필요 없어.
Tiperetu.
타겟 포착.
What is Ishmael doing there? Bro thinks she's part of the team, actually. I didn't realize there'd be like 8 people involved in this combat sequence when I was selecting my team.
움직임이 어설퍼요.
지키기 위해서 차포잡이라 예상한 것보다 움직임이
I just got some excellent confirmation from my artist. Something is in the works, chat. Something excellent is in the works presently. Something you guys will probably like very, very much. I mean, I will like it very much, and you guys like the same things I do, so keep it too.
상담은 나중으로.
We have similar taste. That's why you're here. I would hope. Whatever reason you're here for, having similar tastes might be one of them. It would be reasonable to surmise, at least. Therefore, this artwork I have commissioned from none other than Shimejime, I think will be a resounding success in terms of people liking it. What is bro even waffling about anymore? Reload, please and thank you. It feels like frickin' forever since I've actually played the game of Limbus, I'm not gonna lie. I think I had one combat sequence like 2 or 3 streams ago. The game feels strange and unusual to me already.
이러면 쏠 수 있죠?
시야 확보. 쏜다.
But I mean, I have Night of Despair Raja, so I can kind of just like dismantle my prefrontal cortex and win anyways.
오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어. 내일도 꼭 불러주기야. 세상이
Just completely lobotomize myself and steamroll everything.
아,
Story, please.
오늘은 제 사비로 손해를 메울 필요가 없네요.
It's so big. Oh my gosh. That's what Sugoku Shikaraku. Guess that makes sense. Shikara as a it was like de. I'm putting this phrase into Jisho and seeing if it does anything. De. De. What did he say? Who? Was it? Will this bring up anything on my dictionary? I guess not. Yeah, I might be like completely butchering it because I don't know what the pronunciation of that word is. With hanging kana, it might be different. No. With hanging kana, you specifically use the. Whatever. Where were we? Amazing. I didn't know there were remaining vessels of this class in Iberia. Aha! I spy her name here. It is called the name Rebellion de las Masas. Rebellion. It's in Spanish. Rebellion de las Masas. Bolt of the Masses, is it? A name very much mired in peculiarity. Peculiarity, indeed. Hung Lu chimed in that he was rather fond of it with its size being about the same as a boat from his home, while Ishmael quickly jumped in to correct us that its size alone wasn't anything special at the Great Lake, but it was still pretty big compared to Mephi or the Indigo Elder's skiff. I thought it was going to be somewhere around Mephi's size at most. Are you sure you can get this ship fixed in a day or two? As I briefed you yesterday, the great majority of the time-consuming repairs had already been completed by the villagers. The extent of our repair efforts only concerns a few components within the vessel that the villagers could not repair, which shouldn't take us much time. Unless parts that are unfamiliar to Faust are also malfunctioning, such as the core engine, remaining repairs should be sufficiently managed by Faust. Despite Otis's confident declaration, I cannot help but feel oddly unsettled as I looked at the ship. I don't know why, but something tells me that we don't want to linger here for too long. Still, please be thorough about it, just in case. I'd rather not sit on a sinking ship again. The experience of the Great Lake was enough. Do not worry, Dante. Unlike Mephistopheles, most functions of this vessel, buoyancy gear, propellers, steering gear, are all in operational capacity. This repair should be much easier than the case with Mephistopheles. They seem confident enough. It should be safe around this time, right? Are we taking that rope to climb up to the ship? No, there's a lift-like apparatus down here. It should take us up to the ship. Its stability was verified yesterday. Let us board the lift. You're 100% certain, right? The boat is afloat right now, Dante. I don't think it'll be sinking anytime soon. Wouldn't that be nice? Oi, are you two just gonna faff about down here? We're heading up now. No, we're going with you. Bro doesn't even have a mouth and he's still stuttering. As I made my way into the vessel's bridge, I was greeted by the extravagant interior that was as gaudy as its exterior. This isn't real gold, is it? Sure is shiny as heck in here. I've got butterflies in my stomach. A.S. Aesthetically satisfying, she says. But too ostentatious. Not quite my style. Our young Mephi is also quite the excellent vessel, yet I imagine the adventures we could embark upon this... on aboard... Fucking Don Quixote. Imagine the adventures we could embark on aboard this vessel, most lavishly decorated. Making her sound like a little more crazy than she does with her own voice actor. As Faust and Otis were working on one of the control panels, Ishmael walked up to another and interfaced with it before giving a knowing nod. This must have been an investigative or research vessel of sorts. But it does seem to be a bit extravagant for one of those, though. Look, coordinates. Updating in real time, it seems. The coordinates seem to have been set somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Maybe it points to a small islet. Nope. No islet there. Ah! Blimey, lass. You sure know how to sneak up on people. Mayors? What? Did I actually surprise you? I did ask if you guys were gonna come fix the boat today. Still, I didn't know you'd be here. Why are the coordinates set to this location? There are several undersea cities beneath those coordinates, collectively known as Aegir. Gramps' home. I see. Understood. Wee woo Morel, hello Al. How are you doing? Hello, hi, hello, hi, hi. What was understood, if I may ask? I yet been reading for the past 8 hours. Oh my. What were you reading? It is now understood why the promise to repair this ship was sufficient to earn their trust and the title of saviors. What's she on about? Someone get translating. Consolidating and cross-referencing the observed particular circumstances of the village and the statements from the village chief, alongside information garnered from the exchange with mayors, it is possible to gauge the significance this ship's repair has to the local populace. Just a series on Royal Road, about 1K pages. I don't know what that is. Royal Road. I mean, I assume it's like a literature website or something. 8 hours is crazy. I guess I've streamed Limbus for longer than that. Royal Road's like a site where people post their stories. Okay, so like a indie literature website. Seems cool. Similar to ScribbleHub/Wattpad. Oh, and people say Faust is freaking like nerfed without Gesellschaft. That is like, you know, that's a, I mean, it's not the most impressive conclusion to draw with the information gathered, but like, it's not like she's an idiot without her like Discord or whatever. A lot more fantasy oriented though. Of course, while this may constitute a sequence of logical connections that poses a certain challenge for Heathcliff to comprehend, a lot more fantasy-oriented though. To employ any degree of effort to attempt to explain it in a more digestible language would constitute a pursuit of inefficiency. Grumbling. Grumble, grumble. Lower the baton, I implore you. I shall explain it in full. I was wondering when Miss Smartass would start gabbing like that again. So, what's she on about? Heathcliff's shoulders were relaxed. It didn't seem like he was actually going to swing the bat. He placed it lightly over his shoulder with a sigh. A brief observation of the village seemed to suggest that their subsistence situation was quite dire. Much of their daily sustenance consisted of dried food, most of them made for long-term storage purposes. Considering what Scotty said about how the coastal areas are full of danger, maybe those dry seafood aren't from around here either. Maybe it's the food they packed when they first came to Faro Muerto? Some villages were armed, yeah, and those sea terrors weren't exactly that formidable, but given the state the villages are in, I doubt they have an easy time repelling those monsters. I don't remember at what part of the story this is. Have you already dealt with the first bastard? I don't think so. This is like stage 4. Indeed. And that brings us to the question of sustenance. Right, I get what's going on here. The lass and her granddad are about to visit her hometown, and they're trying to get some food supplies from there to feed the villagers, and to convince them, they're planning to use the fact they're from the same neck of the woods. Or sea, I guess. Oh, so we're not just repairing their ship, we're repairing their food supply plan too. Huh? What's wrong? It's, while the expressions were rather crude, Heathcliff's summary of the situation was clear, to the point, and easily understood. The sinners stared at him with mild surprise. Hard mode or normal mode? I think this is normal mode. Since all my identities are, like, leveled up to 55. And I did too. What's with them annoying looks? Wait, oh, you sods. You don't think I'm that dim-witted, do you? Top-notch intuition. It's just that it's been a while since you've shown this side of yourself. Thinking back, Heathcliff's intuition's always been excellent, and he'd often put together surprisingly accurate conclusions with impressive speed. You know, when you really think about it, it's kind of your fault for... I've been too soft on you lately, haven't I? Oi, get back here! Half the HP and 0 protection? Lamau. Now, with those fools out of the conversation, was he correct? Otis looks from the usual chaos and asks Mayers. Looks away. Honestly, I'm surprised. He was on point. Yeah, food's been running low in the village. At this rate, we won't last another year. But the Aegir will... I'm sure they'll welcome us with open arms. Excuse me. I don't want to come off like I'm overly worried, but do you think they'll welcome the others, too? Unlike mayors or chief, they're not Aegir. I believe they will. Iberia suspects and hates the Aegir for no other reason than we're from the sea, but our home cannot have fallen so low as to abandon a group of starving land dwellers. Prithee, might thou explain to us who the Aegir are? I had initially thought it to be a reference to a region, yet it also seems to refer to an affiliation of sorts. Maybe there's something like the Nest Dwellers, though I don't think I've heard of a nest that accepts backstreets people with open arms. Or maybe they used to be some rich folk. Stop, man! I don't need 6 different characters speaking over each other. Oh, my vocal cords, man. They call them the Nestoffs, Aegir here. Then does that make the rabbit-eared lass Aegir too? Wait. In the world you came from, do they not distinguish between races? That is not entirely true. Delineation between races is a concept that does exist. Though I only saw them in the Fathums, there were those terrifying things called the cuckoo spawns. Huh? However, as a general rule, it can be said that humans should be the only intelligent life forms. Should be the only intelligent life forms in the city. The people of Terra have slightly varying appearances depending on their race, like my Curtis ears. And I've got pointed ears because I'm an Aegir, though it's not a characteristic every Aegir shares. This idea to what they're discussing appeareth to be, Don Quixote seemed to be struggling to finish her sentence. Marisol stepped in to continue. By context clues and the manner of word usage, including the means of classification. The closest example in our world would be blood fiends. Similar external appearances to humans, different natures, comparable sapiens. 'Tis of my belief that the blood fiends are ostracized due to their nature and maketh coexistence with humans difficult. It may be that the Aegir are also... I'm sure they do. Some of them possess qualities that make coexistence with others difficult, but they're probably rare. And wherefore they made subjects of suspicion and hatred. That's... well... The language is new, but the idea itself was pretty familiar to city folks like us. Think of feathers like fallen wings. Kids born on the back streets. People who replace their body parts with prosthetics. The form differs, yet in its essence, we find the thread. Ellipses. Something about how we keep finding these similarities in the ways of our lives, despite finding ourselves in a distant world with different rules, races, and humans. Felt oddly discomforting. The point is, you guys are doing us a real solid by fixing out the ship. Let's move on from these gloomy conversations, okay? I want to show you the cooler parts of the ship. This way. The ship tour may have to wait. The repairs are almost completed, but an issue has arisen. Issue? Wow, that's not reassuring at all. Multiple life forms identified ahead, assumed to be Sea Terror Horde. The ship's radar system seems to suggest that the vessel is surrounded. And they're the same monsters from yesterday. Executive Manager, please order us to prepare for battle. Are they the Sea Terrors you encountered? They look a bit different, but yeah, probably. There's a lot of them, but if our last experience tells us anything, we should be able to handle this. I mean, please support us in battle like you did yesterday. Canst thou fight, young mares? I feel like I'm just gonna get in your way. And guys, find a place to keep mares as far as possible from the battle. Then let's hurry down there. We don't want them to damage the ship any further. Alright, and we already did the combat because I skipped over the story by accident earlier. It's a little strange to me that you can't click out of this story segment and you have to skip into the combat, but whatever. Pilgrimage of Compassion.
작전 호출. 입감.
선원 집합. 이번 작품에 대해 논의할 시간이다.
I need more coffee. Golly gee. More of them.
날카롭고 정확하게.
이케나.
피어나라.
방금
시원하라.
너희들의 사랑의 힘이 빛의 힘이 어둡고 악한 아르카나들을
시시게.
예상한 것.
Here's the yappers.
승리도 시간 문제겠지?
I need a hero.
뭐야 이 수치는? 아까 어떤 직원이 제압 개체에 한 번에 입힌 피해량이. 잠깐. 진짜? 왜 부서 팀장을 안 말아줬지?
타겟 포착. 1시 방향.
To be honest, save for the bosses, I win rated my way through everything fairly easy. Yeah, it seems to be the case for these fights. These enemies are like startlingly weak, actually. So I'm more or less doing the same thing, but you know, I'm doing my regular
사선이 비었어요.
like defend swapping for my Roja, my Heathcliff. What's up, my homies? How are y'all? We're doing well. How are you doing, Kaz? It's a good day. It's a good Thursday. I'm feeling less sick than I was Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday evening, but I'm still not gonna go to English because I don't really want to ride my bike there or take the bus. So
머리통에 적절났다고.
I'm very much looking forward to showing you guys. Tomorrow's a free day, so I'm gonna laze and have fun. Same. Tomorrow's a free day for me, so you know what we're gonna do? I think we're making a return to Umineko tomorrow. Might even get a chapter of L'Étranger by Albert Camus out of the way, honestly. I think if I really put the mill to the grindstone today and tomorrow, I'll be fully caught up with VODs. And like I've said many times before, like the VOD backlog upload has been like the one thing preventing me from working on like the ebook series itself and like editing things. So we might see that hell screen upload like actually on the horizon for once.
제압 효과가 굉장히 좋았어. 기록적인 피해량인 것 같다.
Perhaps. The YouTube channel will be made use of. What is this? What are these icons on my sinners? What is this like blue bullseye?
영원히 잠깐다.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
What is the meaning of this?
긴장하시나요?
Nervous impairment. At 30 stag it becomes stag. What the fuck?
도움이 된답니다.
Okay. We do a little win rating. It's called we do a little win rating.
피워보지.
무용하군요.
다음 목표로.
어머해줘.
I've never gotten that passive to proc. You're fine. Yeah, it didn't seem like an issue. I just like, where is it coming from? Like, What is nervously impairing our sinners against these like little baby sea creatures? Keep petted too.
마음에 들면 그렇다. 솔직히
Seashell runner. This thing looks freaking strange. Strange thing.
아낄 이유가 뭐 있는지.
그쪽도 죄인인가? 한 점만
There's
노린다.
no concentration sniper. Oh shit. And these things only have like 70 health. Whatever.
깔끔한
He's gonna get one
헤드샷.
shot no matter how much poise he has.
잘났다고.
분명하는 것 같아.
깔끔한
우리가
헤드샷.
선택한 건 좋았던 것
머리통에
같네.
적절났다고.
깨우치시게. 이제 깨우치시게.
악당 퇴치 성공! 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
Sakana.
내일도 꼭 불러주기야.
The remaining entities have all returned to sea. Is everyone okay? It was just like our last skirmish. Sea terrors that had surrounded the ship returned to sea even before the battle came to an end. And their retreat felt too orderly and deliberate to be just running away. Almost like they're making a tactical retreat. We're doing peachy, but what about the ship? Fow, is the ship okay? Minor damages to the hull, but nothing that will impede the ship's operational capacities. So, I noticed during the battle, I might be wrong, of course, but I think I noticed how around the end of the battle, those monsters were starting to go after the manager? Probably right, actually. They a hive mind? Oh. I've sensed the very same. Their movements were fluid and adaptive, as though they were learning our behavior. Why does the Church of the Deep worship monsters like them? That ain't much of a question, innit? Must have all gone mental. Don't you mean they must have gone in the heckin' like loony toony boony bin, Heathcliff? I'm sure they have many reasons, but Seaborns are beings of infinite potential. So much so that there's no superlative big enough to properly convey the scale. Bro is first and firster. Give her the hydrate. I do have water this time. And the posture check. I'm straight backed. I even have a blankie on my chair for like some extra padding for my back, so I can sit up straight a little more easily. Wordle in 2. Holy shit. How do I beat that? I gotta get Wordle in 1 if I want to win today. I just saw that. Excuse me. Where is my Wordle in 2 gif? There it is. Congrats on the Wordle in 2, Kaz. Maybe that's their draw. That fascination may be an attitude most befitting a researcher. Yet, Hajiman, the transformation of fascination into idolatry is, if I may be frank, not entirely positive. Hajiman, I find them pretty uncomfortable. They just remind me of whales. Then, can they adapt to learn a language to communicate with us? What? Going by everything we heard, I think they sound really smart. Mayur's eyes went round at Honglu's suggestion. She brought her hands to her mouth, surprised. It sure was something. I heard that there were a Seaborn who could talk. Non-humans speak the language of humans, regardless of its testament to their intelligence. I can only think of 2 possibilities as to why they would. 1, to communicate with humans. The other, to deceive humans. Welcome back. Well, another freaking 500 years of Frieren demon discourse. Please and thank you. More often than not, it's the latter. What about distortions? Some of them already know how to speak. Screenshotting that. That's pretty sick. Anyways, what about distortions? Some of them already know how to speak. Distortions are phenomena in which humans transform into monstrous forms, first observed after the White Knights and Dark Days incident. Therefore, that example is irrelevant to Otis's supposition. White Knights and Dark Days. She whispered quietly, but as we were sitting rather close to her, we all caught on to the hint of joy in her voice. The pillar of light in the city, did it really? How have you come across this knowledge, Miss Mayers? Oh, that's plain and obvious. We've got the culprit right here. The storyteller lass who's been gabbing on with no end. Yeah, she's been talking non-stop all morning about all kinds of stories, hasn't she? Oh? Yet I've not yet gotten that far. You again. You didn't get so lost in your own stories that you blabbed all about our company secrets, have you? Nay, Fee, I would simply not. As Don Quixote was subject to yet another round of scolding, Amiya stared out toward the sea, wary that sea terrors might start crawling to the surface once again before turning toward us. I wonder which two of the Seaborns are. Their sense of self is really, really faint, so I don't think they'd be in either category. I think it's possible that they learned human language out of instinct, that the power of speech might help them survive. It appears that you, Miss Mayers, are quite the expert on the subject of Seaborn. Your knowledge of them goes beyond what fear of one's survival may yield, thereby suggesting a different means of acquisition. By chance, worship the Seaborns? I don't worship Seaborns. Seaborns don't have any hopes or wishes, just desire for survival. Miss Mayers, does that mean if Seaborns were somehow able to hope? Maybe so. Is that so? So desu na. So desu ka? He wouldn't say that. He's not Japanese. The repairs are complete. As we were conversing, Faust descended from the ship with a neatly organized set of tools borrowed from the village. Repairs completed. I'm guessing repairs are done? Yes. The ship is ready to set sail. Did you have the departure time and date in mind? I would prefer if we could depart as soon as possible. We don't have a set time or anything, but I think we should be able to set sail this late afternoon at the earliest. That's soon. Top of the hour. I'm gonna stretch out for a few minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. I also used the restroom. Went potty. As we were. Okay. Let's get something else out of the way. I would really like to open my fucking blinds without, like, just sweating immediately. Because it's like 33 degrees out and the sun is still just shining into my room. It's like a couple hours, like, during, you know, the middle of the day, where somehow the sun is directly overhead and it's shining into my window on the side of my house. Like, it must be just, like, the position of the globe, like, on its axis right now. Like, I guess just this time of year we get, like, crazy direct sunlight. And, like, the sun just somehow angles to, like, laser beam my whole room. The sun is a deadly laser? Exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth. I will open my blinds because I want some light for my eyes, like, for, you know, looking at my screen to be a bit easier on my eyes, because it's obviously healthier for my eyes to have, you know, ambient light and not just the screen. I think, at least. In theory, I want to say it's healthier for your eyes to have more ambient light while looking at a screen, but then if I actually open my blinds up, I mean, it's starting to pass. The sun is starting to pass. I can let some light in, I think, without dying, maybe. As you've seen, we don't have a lot to bring with us. By the way, how far out to sea do you guys need to go? Huh? I don't know. We need to find this dimensional door of sorts. I could see the dimensional door's light from the beach at night. It was faint, but given how the light's strong enough to break through the sea fog, we should be able to determine its location somewhere around the coastal waters. Oh, we can go back tonight. I'm giving Heathcliff almost like a posh accent. That's not correct. I know he's not, like, perfectly Cockney, but also his voice actor is Korean, so, like, you're not gonna have a Korean... I'm sure in the book he was Cockney, right? Like, surely. Has anyone read Wuthering Heights? Any Wuthering Heights heads in the chat? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he was Cockney in the book. Anyways, the first order of business is to relay this news to the villagers. Nope, sorry. It's fine, because we'll get to it in the ebook series, in the audiobook series, and we'll read it together. Real or what? Yeah, back to the village for now.
그 정도 화력으로 우리 사무소를 막을 수 있을 줄 알았냐? 저놈들 무기까지
I gotta learn Korean soon. After I learn Japanese and Russian and French and Portuguese, I will learn Korean, I think. There's something going on in the village. Yeah, I hear it too. I'm hearing people shouting and hollering. When we returned to the village, ship repairs completed, we were welcomed by a rather hostile standoff. A quick count told me there were approximately 20 people assembled at the village square. Considering its population, that was pretty much the whole village. Who's that over there? Visitor. I think we've been found. The Inquisitor, dressed in a well-kept uniform, was about the same height. Yeah, my room temperature instantly shot up by like 3 degrees at least. Even just cracking my blinds open, that's crazy. It's a hot day today, chat. Hot and fucking sunny. I am getting an important call. I will be right back. Okay, thank you guys so much for your patience. I got called and then I got put on hold like in 30 seconds because I guess something happened. Like, I was calling to schedule an appointment with my clinic so that I can, you know, have healthcare again without having to spend money on it, which unfortunately means I will be seen in November, which sucks because like there's a lot of things I need to be seen for right now. But you know what? Yeah, at least I'll be seen at all. Better than not being seen, or being seen and I guess having to pay. Now, where were we? The Inquisitor, dressed in a well-kept uniform, was about the same height as Don Quixote. She's very, very short. The sword and the lamp hanging from her waist sits in stark contrast with a more run-down, ramshackle village. She almost looked like a fixer from the city. So, the Inquisition has discovered our village. Did you really think that you could forever stay out of the Inquisition's gaze, citizen? It's a naive dream. Fabius disappeared from the Inquisition mid-interrogation under charges of suspicion of membership within the Church of the Deep. Last known location, Salt Flat. The other Inquisitors have informed me that you have been identified next to pirates in its fringes. From a criminal to an outlaw, a dramatic evolution of your career. But it ends here, now. Every citizen here, including you, will be accompanying me to the Inquisition. They have never broken a single law, nor are they outlaws of any kind. They are not like me. They've disregarded the Inquisition's authority, evaded the gaze of Iberia, and found this sodden coast to lurk in. Tell me I'm not supposed to find that suspicious. What are you talking about? You can't just start arresting people left and right with a tenuous suspicion like that. You shouldn't. We only wish to live a quiet life, ma'am. Is that so? You might find yourself returning to this village one day as long as you're telling the truth. Which is not an option for you, Fabius. Ayers, was Chief really a pirate? Well, yeah, but as far as I know, he's been out of the game for a while. And even when he ran with the pirates, all he ever did was share Finn beast jerky to villages. Or carry Aegirians between them. Even if you're telling the truth, Mayors, I doubt the Inquisition will be lenient. Well, what now? I have but one question to ask. That Inquisitor, is she following the proper legal procedures? I don't know much about the laws of Iberia, but Dr. Calcet told us that the words of Inquisitors were pretty much the law here. It is likely that she's following the proper legal procedures. The procedures are precisely what the villagers have fled from, after all. Then it is decided. Otis quietly dragged me to the outside and whispered outside Mayor's earshot. Sinners who were right next to me seemed to have picked it up, though. Executive Manager, we best immediately return to the ship, take command of it, and sail out on our own. It is unwise to involve ourselves in this conflict. What? Are you seriously suggesting that we just let him arrest the villagers? Didn't you hear what the Inquisitor said? It seems quite cut and dry to me. If this is just standard procedure with no local laws broken, we are in no place to involve ourselves. Our best hope is to take the ship before they impound that, too. We can't do that. Even if it is standard procedure, even if they're working within the law, it's not... You stayed up to hear Mayor's story, too, didn't you? You know, the Encore Inquisitors were working within the law, too. They came for the village. That was standard procedure, too. Anyone had stepped in then. I know what you went through, but I'd still rather not take a risk in an unfamiliar environment like this. I will try my best to figure out how to sail that ship. If I cannot, then I have faith in Ishmael to quickly learn its controls. Can't say you're wrong, but I don't know. Neither you nor I never know anything about the ocean currents here, Otis. We can get the ship going, but I can't guarantee that we'll reach the dimensional door without any trouble. Do you know anything about the sea currents in this region? Not much, but I know the coastal sea somewhat. And you can't fight the Inquisitors directly here in Iberia. Fleeing with the ship might be the better option. What should we do, Dante? Yeah, I guess it's kind of awkward for us to just take the ship and go, huh? How about we try to talk to the Inquisitor? To the Inquisitor, then? I think we should at least try to hear them out first. Them being the Inquisitor and the Chief both. If the discussion goes well, we might even be able to get the Inquisition support. Like Mr. Honglu said, we should hear them out first, then try to convince them. I agreed with them both. First, let's at least see what the Inquisitor has to say. Abbott's right, she says? Are you certain that translation was accurate, Sinclair? Right? There's no way Ryoshi would choose anything other than violence, right? Idiots. Because the other options are pointless. Inquisitor's seen us. We're already under suspicion. She will doubtless try to stop us if we flee now. So talk first, lower her guard, then attack. Pretty sure that's not what Amiya meant. Well, if she's already on to us, then we shouldn't give her any excuse to attack us by running away. I was wondering what you were doing there, lurking in the background. A clock-shaped head? Are you from the Columbian Union? They're wearing a clock for a head due to reasons, but they have nothing to do with the Columbian Union. What's the Columbian Union? TikTok. Which language are they speaking? Regardless of whether you're from Columbia or not, you're clearly not from Iberia, let alone this village. You're not wrong, but I think there's been a bit of a misunderstanding. Quite certain you don't know enough about these villagers to stand between them and an Inquisitor. How long have you been staying here? 2 days? Buddy, don't just tell her that. 2 days? Alright, enough of this chicanery. Get out of my way, outsider. The attempt appears to have been made on quite the unstable ground. Please lend us your ear for a minute, Inquisitor. I'm Amiya, leader of Rhode Island. Yes, I'm aware of Iberia's closed border situation. I felt hope within me as Amiya began with confidence, unlike Sinclair. Alas, it was short-lived, thanks to the Inquisitor's quick retort. I couldn't help but place my palm against my forehead at the exchange that followed. Oh, so not only are we dealing with outsiders of dubious origin, we have illegal entry as well. We had to, because the issue demands urgency, and I've been briefed. Brazenly crossed the border, didn't you? I don't know how urgent that issue could be, but I doubt it's anything more significant than the situation at hand for Iberia and its Inquisition. The High Inquisitor is handling the Rhodes Island issue. Stay put and await the consequences while he and that chatty med doctor of yours talk it out. Do know that your treatment may depend on her negotiation skills. As for the village chief, I understand that you have the right to arrest him, as he's a fugitive who's fled in the middle of an interrogation and has been sailing with the pirates. However, it is inhumane treatment to arrest the rest of the villagers as well. Inhumane? This decision is well within the rights bestowed upon the Inquisition. They've lived for years right next to that highly suspicious Aegir. The Inquisition must investigate the rest of them as well to verify whether they have committed any acts of treason against our laws. This isn't going anywhere, is it? Listen, they've been surviving for years upon years by the coast without the protection of the Inquisition, and that simply cannot make sense. Boy, we've heard enough from you. Ain't it funny how you're blaming them for what is essentially a failure of your responsibilities? And now you roll up in here only to go, they shouldn't be alive, I'm arresting them all. What? Are you saying these people should be all dead or something? I am. There's no other way to cut it. People simply shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this, not for this long. The Inquisitor's supply only seemed to fan Heathcliff's wrath, as he lifted his bat and began striding forward. That's it. Lass, if you ever so much as touch the tip of a single villager's hair... Please calm yourself, Heathcliff. Heathcliff. But Honglu stepped in between them. Get your bloody hands off of me. I've had enough of her. I've had enough of her. Cockney. I've had enough of her. I haven't done a Cockney accent in so long. Hydrate and posture check. Thank you. I'll drink some water. My lips are dry and cracked. I'm not gonna lie. But it's not from a lack of hydration, it's because I chew at them way too ferociously. It's a very unhealthy habit that I've been working on, slowly but surely. And as for the posture, I'm good. I'm not slumping. I just have a knee pulled up to my desk because it helps with my back pain. And I think that's probably fine. What do you suggest then? We're clearly not making any progress by trying to talk this out. Excuse me, Miss Inquisitor. What do you mean that people shouldn't be able to survive in a place like this? Excuse me. I mean it literally. Even by some miracle that they actually do survive, they should at least be suffering from endless hunger, struggling to their wits' end at the inevitability of the calamity. They look too healthy. The heck? Then shouldn't you be applauding them for managing to survive through so much hardship? I'm an Inquisitor, not some crazy person on a power high who goes around accosting and arresting civilians of Iberia straight to the gallows, okay? I have more than enough probable cause to take them in for interrogation. It's just that I don't have the time or energy to explain every single one of them to you outsiders. I promise them a fair judgment, whichever that may be, after a proper investigation. Stop it with this obstruction of justice. The Inquisitor brandished her rapier threateningly, her voice shaking with frustration. Well, she threatened us. This is self-defense now. We can kill her. Ante, without the full picture of the circumstances, Faust advises against further antagonization of a local political authority. I agree with Faust. I get the feeling that she isn't the kind of heartless Inquisitor that goes around indiscriminately executing innocents like Miss Mayers told us about earlier. I don't think she's anything like the Inquisitors of Enqua we saw back at Callaway. They were right. We didn't have the full picture of the circumstances. Getting in the way of an Inquisitor, who is clearly a rather significant political entity in the area, was most likely a bad idea. It isn't the Inquisitor's job to answer your questions. Continue to obstruct me, then, as the standoff was showing no signs of ending. Miss Mayers? I can answer your questions, so for now let's do as the Inquisitor says. Mayers, who had been hiding behind us ever since we returned to the village, suddenly stepped forward. Yet, what of thy grandfather and the villagers? It's all right. I'm sure this is happening only because the Inquisitor doesn't know. Does she know? Dost thou know? What do you mean you'll answer the questions? There's too many characters. I'm flip-flopping between timbres and cadences and dialects, like literally over a dozen of them in the span of like 5 minutes. It's too exhausting. I can't keep this up. I gotta read in my own voice, I think. These unvoiced intervalos are so fucking rough to voice act for. Way too many characters. Kind of like Umineko, like in the initial sections where there's like 18 people. About the profound silence. Mayers' response to Otis was but a single concept. I didn't quite grasp its significance, but it seemed to surprise the Inquisitor. That's what they called the calamity that destroyed Iberia. That's what they called the calamity that destroyed Iberia. Thank you for the hydrate, Kaz.
식사? 이곳 안에서는 식사가 금지되어 있어.
The background music is really silent in this event, I've noticed. If there even is any at all, it's extremely subdued. I wonder why they chose that direction. I really do.
준비는 끝났습니다. 명령 대기.
I mean, listen to the audio mixing. Like, the voices are completely audible, and I have voice volume set to... Okay, it's maxed out, never mind. Decades ago, a great wave ravaged through Iberia. It wasn't long before the seaborns carried by the waves diminished Iberia's brilliant civilization to this. Waves. The profound silence then must have reduced the village to its current state as well. Is there any reason it's called the profound silence? Profound silence? Doesn't seem to be the most appropriate moniker for a calamity like that. Because the sea went dead silent before the waves came. The silence then claimed ships out at sea, then the cities of Iberia, then the Iberians themselves. No one could say a word in the face of the ineffable calamity. What? Just what are you? No average Iberian citizen should be privy to any of the information you're sharing. And the Church of the Deep is really capitalizing on the pandemonium that followed the profound silence. They pretend to be the Aegeid from the sea, delude the citizenry from Iberia, and are sowing chaos in her lands. So that's why they're arresting the Aegir left and right. I can see the thought process, but... So it's understandable why the Inquisitor would want to arrest us. I'm so sleepy. We might have to switch games, honestly. There's so much dialogue. Ay ay ay. Dante. This isn't good. Sharing that seems to have been kind of a taboo-like thing for the Inquisition. The Inquisitor wordlessly stared at Mayers. Her eyes were filled with traces of anger and confusion, but... You know, I have sodas. Maybe some sugar and caffeine will do the trick. I'm especially sleepy because I can't keep my fucking window open because it's so gosh darn sunny. When dialogue game has dialogue, shut up. Shut up, I'm sleepy. I'm a eepy sleepy sick mushroom boy. Like, come on. It has dialogue and none of it's voiced. I'm used to all this shit being voiced. It's fucking 13 characters, man. It's 13 characters plus like 6 like guest stars. Come on. I need to stand up and move around a little bit more. I need to let more sun in my room, even if it's gonna make me sweat my balls off. I'll just crank the AC up a little bit. I know it's not... I have a fan running too. The fan is not like doing very well to... Okay, before I resort to the AC, I'll try and increase my fan's power, because I think that's less power... I mean, obviously a fan is less power exhaustive than building-wide air conditioning. Sun brightly shining in my room. I actually woke up immediately, I'm not gonna lie. Just a bit of sunlight, like indirect sunlight on my eyes, and my body, you know, sent the right chemicals throughout my body to feel a little less sleepy. That's all it takes. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much at all. Okay, we will be reading while standing for a bit, because staying seated is painful. She's afraid. There was fear in the face of a threat. Not the fear of the terrified, no. It's the fear of someone who's suddenly confronted with something they must destroy. The High Inquisitor once told me that, should I come across an Aegir who knows too much, there's a sliver of a chance they may be of assistance to Iberia. Sis! Thou art threatening the innocent with thy brandishing of the firearm. A firearm? But most are seduced by the allure of the sea. Thus they are, with little doubt, our foes. Got a bad feeling about this. Get out of my way, outsider. Final warning. Run! Quick on the uptake as always, Doja slung Mayers over her shoulder and ran past the villagers, while the sinners scattered in all directions to distract the Inquisitor. The Inquisitor draws her firearm, and in the midst of all that action, Don Quixote rushed towards the Inquisitor without a moment's hesitation. Don Quixote? Thou shalt go no further. I, a fixer of justice, shan't abide by as thou persecute them. Forsooth, 'tis a battle delayed and not avoided. This clash is inevitable. In that moment of crisis, seconds before this could irrevocably make us a new enemy. Monthreater. Hello. Mon3TR. A large obsidian crystallization in the shape of a monster burst forth between the two of them. Ah, who is it this time? That's enough meaningless bickering. Dr. Calcit! Do you know her? Yes, she's Dr. Calcit, Rhode Island's medical department's. Dr. Calcit, behind you! Month reader. Shoot first, talk later, is it? The negotiations are over. From this moment onward, Rhodes Island is now operating within legal capacity on Iberian territory, under the Inquisition's authorization. The Inquisitor fired a blast of that firearm-looking weapon, but the monster summoned by Calcit managed to deflect it. And the cannonball, thrown from the weapon, punched clean through the wall of the building we stayed the night in, before punching through several other buildings behind it. That was enough to instantly freeze the sinners and the villagers on the spot. That penetrated a building. Though their walls may be weaker than the head standard for what counts as a building's exterior wall, to punch through so many is... What a precise point it makes. Now's not the time to stand around impressed. It is a violation of a taboo to have that much penetrative power in a firearm. We're not in the city. Don't lose your heads over this. Taboos don't apply here. My head knows that to be true, yet my heart finds it difficult to be still. Wait, so what about full stop Heathclipu? He shoots a bullet that can penetrate through like 8 inches of steel, man. That weapon has to be taboo. There's no way it's not. That is enough of that discussion for now. It is advisable that we carefully observe and grasp the situation at hand instead of deliberating on a taboo the jurisdiction of which does not reach this far. Yeah, so the situation's gotten slightly better, right? Yeah, if she's Amiya's friend, she's our ally. Besides, she's got some super powerful looking prosthetic gear looking thing too. Is that what you think? I apologize for the disappointment, but I'm not on anyone's side. In other words, your particular denomination ally might not be entirely correct. However, if I must define my allegiance, then let me inform you that the closest label would be that I am Inquisitor Irene's ally. Dr. Calcit. Amiya. Outsiders. As much as you would like to deny it, the Inquisitor's suspicions are true. While it can be said that the process by which she reached a conclusion was unfair, thank you for the hydrate, cows. I actually really need this water. The conclusion itself is, without a doubt, correct. So they're actually connected to the Church of the Deep? That is one way to put it. To be more precise, they aren't connected to the Church of the Deep. They are the Church of the Deep. Perhaps the village itself is a dilapidated church of their congregation. Our village a church? Just look at our buildings. Where would we even congregate? Your thoughts, Faust? There are not many resources by which we may analyze the decision. However, the fact that Amiya's colleague has made the same argument as the Inquisitor brings the accused's defense into question. Yet, I can hardly believe that young Mayers is lying to us. Hold on. You've been chatting plenty with that Inquisition or whatever. How do we know you weren't aligned with him the whole time? I see, you really are all entirely in the dark. An expected outcome, given that all of you may be from a place far beyond the dimensional door. As fortune should have it, there's no need for you to know it anyway. Truth is truth, unchanging, without the acceptance from an errant group of outsiders. Besides, soon... I'm sorry, it seems that we've mired you in this trouble. Say no such thing. We shall not abide by as one such injustice is perpetrated before our eyes. The village has already been identified by the Inquisition, and the Inquisition has even brought an ally. It seems quite unlikely that words shall resolve this conflict. But we promise you we will take responsibility for what is done. We have benefited far too much from your warmth and kindness not to do so. The village chief, with a benevolent look, pulls a dagger from his cloth, and I immediately knew what Calcit was about to say. Take responsibility? You don't have to go that Blimey! We are now departing for the sea, yet we cannot bring ourselves to leave you here. I must ask you to join us for this journey. Become our bloodkin. What are you doing? Stop! The unanticipated, or perhaps I was simply in denial of this rising dread, ambush did not end there. Are they stupid? The Inquisitor was right. Meerschalt, die. The villagers suddenly began shaking the sinners with okay, yeah, turning the fan up helped a lot. I can let way more light in now. Heck yeah. More light, and it's cooler in my room. The villagers suddenly began shanking the sinners with weapons they had concealed in their clothes, and it seemed that they were coming for me as well. Amiya, on your left! Amiya materialized a black ribbon-like apparition, parrying away the dagger flying in my direction, but another villager rushed in, taking advantage of the opening. The charging villager's back made a visceral, crunchy noise. Someone flung them away. Oh, didn't mean to be this late. Scatty, let me catch you up to speed. I know the situation. This fishy smell was what I went to investigate earlier. What about the sinners? Unlike Amiya and I, who managed to survive the initial ambush, the sinners weren't doing so well. Time to turn back the clock, Dante. At least we had a silver lining in that the Inquisitor and Dr. Kaltzit's quick understanding of the situation and the subsequent retaliation led the villagers away from the sinners. How? I didn't notice any hostility or aggression. What an odd thing to say. Why would we hold any animosity against you? Why would we intend to kill you? We are not trying to hurt you. We're simply trying to give you a form better suited for the sea. Until we were obstructed. I apologize for our infamiliarity has caused you trouble, Inquisitor. I won't make a big stink about what happened. What's truly unforgivable is that the heretics try to take advantage of the ignorance of outsiders to flee the Inquisition. And even if you are outsiders, any lives lost on Iberian soil are my responsibility. It's my fault. I'm sorry it came to this. Wait, lives lost? We're still alive, you know? We can shake off a stab wound, like... This is most unfortunate, outsider. Dude, everyone's fucking, like, talking over each other, man. Like... Holy shit. It's difficult when I'm reading for every single character. Huh? What? Your friends are either going to die or turn into seaborns. The daggers that stabbed them were laced with the flesh of sea terrors. Once that happens, most die, and the survivors become overwritten by their cells, become nothing more than another sea monster. What? That's not a very big deal? Everyone was acting like this was it for the sinners, but hey, I should be able to deal with this by turning the clock. It's not all that bad. My only concern was that I didn't know what would happen if I tried to bring them back after they're fully transformed. The golden bow helped deal with the whale's palidification effects, but I had no idea how it would interact with seaborne transformations. We should just kill them before they turn. I know this must be very hard for you, but for... What? Sorry to bother you with this, but can you kill my friends? And preferably in the least painful way you know. Oh, sorry. Was the last part kind of too much to ask? Wait, don't give up already. If we can bring them back to Rhodes Island, we should be able to do something to help them. How should I explain this? Guys, can you... Dante, I know what you mean, but I just can't right now. My strength has rapidly deteriorated since the ambush. It's kind of tingly too, so maybe they use some kind of paralytic cocktail? Just trust me this one time. I can assure you that I'm not just giving up on them. Amiya, you understand the outsider's speech? Yes, it's just that they're making a pretty difficult request. They want me to kill all of their friends before they transform into seaborns. Okay. And before we even knew it, Scotty had already decapitated the sinners, none of whom resisted. Amiya seemed to have been taken aback by how fast Scotty jumped into action. Oh, she's seen us fight. What are you doing? Don't let this spook you. This is, just how we roll. The clock turns. The decapitated heads creep towards the headless torsos, connecting with the threads of blood. The sensation is that of reversal. It feels as though the sinners and I are severed from the rest of the world, rewinding in isolation. Is this rewinding us going back in time, or are we defying the concept itself? Thank you for the hydrate, Kaz. I see there's a second one. I'll finish off my water. This pain is multifold worse than the sensation of a straightforward decapitation. The pain is in the heart. As the current of death reverses, I sense a deep, crushing isolation. Their wounds are disappearing. Resurrection, metempsychosis, or time reversal? Puzzling. I have no knowledge with which to interpret this technology. The cost seems to be that the pain is transferred to one who rewinds. But that seems to be a small price for such great power. The discussion of whether this can be categorized as power should be explored later. I couldn't stop shaking. All of my limbs were trembling from the icy solitude. Still, I took a moment to collect myself and order the sinners. I don't know just what they were thinking, but we should be able to find out once we take them down. You dare deceive the executive manager and try to take their life? Prepare thyself, for thou shalt now pay the price for making a mockery of justice. Yeah, we can't just let this slide, you know. How unfortunate. I had high hopes that all of you would become fine bloodkins. Is this the first bastard? The aforementioned first bastard. I really thought we'd be fighting the Inquisitor. Cultist of the Deep. What are they doing? Sinking? Inflict sinking, inflict bind. On a hit. Okay, but the clashes are really, really weak. Should be easy.
그쪽도 죄인인가?
The clashes are really weak. Heathcliff did not flip heads once and he still won.
히스클리프,
제압
지금
효과가 굉장히 좋았어. 기록적인 피해량인 것 같아.
Shishige. Oh no, whatever you do, don't apply sinking to my Knight of Despair dojo.
뭐야 이 수치는?
Interesting.
아까 어떤 직원이 제압 개체에 한 번에 입힌 피해량이야. 잠깐. 진짜? 왜 부서팀장을 안 달아줬지?
Holy mother. Of passives, heal 3 sanity for each surviving ally. Oh, it's a focus battle. I can just this, and then like just gun them down. I can focus fire because that passive is absolutely heinous. Hello. Hi, Ali. Hello, Alicia. Hi. How are you doing? How were your classes today, if you had any? I hope they were good. I hope you learned a lot. We are playing Arknights Company. How? Shishige. No, she didn't say it, man. She killed him too fast. No, not like this.
페리트. 당연한
티
걸 한 것
페리트.
가지고 굳이 칭찬할 필요 없어.
I am very hungry. I have this bread that I haven't touched since I served it to myself. I'm gonna...
너도 누군가에겐 아껴졌겠지만
어머해줘.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
eat it with the rest of my very cold coffee. Okay, this is heinous. This is absolutely heinous. Hopeless, hopeless. Oh boy. Not an easy fight. And they just fucking like farmed full sanity on the spot.
타겟 포착.
Hey Morel and Kaz, how are you guys? I'm doing very dandy today. I mean, I'm still feeling a little sick from Tuesday, but other than that, I'm in a pretty good mood comparatively to how I've been feeling the rest of the week, so...
이대로면 승리도 시간 문제겠지?
We're all gonna make it, I think. That's what I have to say today. We are all gonna make it.
너도 누군가에게 맡겼다도 지킬 게 많거든.
It's good, I'm glad you're here. Well, how are you doing? Enough about me. Holy shit. Okay. Wait, did he just kill someone?
뭐야, 이 수치는. 아까 어떤
What the hell?
직원이 제압 개체에 한 번에
He just
입힌
fucking
피해를
killed
당한
someone. What
거야.
just happened?
놈들이면 좋겠고.
진짜?
He killed Gregor.
부서팀장을 안
Okay.
받았지?
My bad, I guess. I'm a bit sick right now, I think. I want to say something's going around, but you live on the opposite side of the Atlantic to me, so whatever you have, it's not the same thing I have. Get some rest and feel better soon. I concur. Drink plenty of water. That's insane that he just killed Gregor on the spot. How is that possible? There's so much reading, man. I'm not reading all this shit. Ay, ay, ay.
Your workforce is about
Oh
to
my.
get bigger. Dwarf inbound.
Hello, Raiders! Caden Vieira, welcome in, welcome in. How are you guys doing? How was your stream? Welcome, Raiders. How are you? My name is Morel Schrumer. I'm a mycelial fellow who loves nature and can be a bit of a recluse. Were you guys also playing Limbus? I'm going to assume. Because I still haven't fixed my raid message. Hi and God bless, saw you in the Christian Discord. I was doing art streams. Oh, Maya, fellow Christian VTuber. Now that is lovely. Let me give you a shout out real quick. Thank you for the raid. I like, to continue introducing myself. I like single player games, I like narrative based games, I like Limbus Company, and currently we're playing Limbus right now, and other games we have in progress. Yakuza 0, Umineko When They Cry, When the Seagulls Cry, and I like playing roguelites too, like Bellatra and Slay the Spire. So if you guys like any of that, you're in the right place. God bless you. And yeah, if you guys need a raid and run, of course, be my guest. Like, go do some after-stream self-care, as that is, a very valuable thing to do. I know very well how draining a stream can be, physically and even mentally and spiritually sometimes. Aiden Vieira. Anyways, it's nice to see you all. A very unexpected raid. And we're just playing Limbus. This is a boss fight. He seems very strong. And thank you for shout out. Of course, of course. I gotta bake some banana bread for my boys. Lol. Have a good one though. Oh yeah. Well, wow. That sounds delicious. I'm a little jealous. Figuratively, of course, because envy is a sin. I mean that to figuratively say. That sounds very good. Ay ay ay. Just block, I guess. This boss music is absolutely zanger, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really liking this, almost orchestral like boss theme. We don't really get a lot of that in Limbus Company. I'm guessing this is more like Arknights music. Alicia, you play Arknights, right? Is this like the music that you would find? Oh my gosh, he's already dead. Wait, what did we just do? What just happened? We just won.
교만하면 뒤집어지는 법.
Call of the Bloodkin.
그래서 어쩌라는 거지?
경계.
Oh my.
그걸 꼭 말로 해야 하나?
Yes, it is. Okay, Arknights might be banger, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, let's just kill him. I'm sure if we kill him, the other guy's gonna run away or something. We're gonna shoot him in the face very many times because he's evil.
날카롭고 정확하게.
What's the gameplay of Arknights like? I don't think I have it in me to add another gacha to my game log. Like, oh my gosh, he's still fighting.
믿었던 대로 너흰 잘해주고 있어.
What a trooper. It's like a tower defense game.
두 번은 필요
Dude, he's
없다고
still
생각해.
fighting.
아직 끝난 것도 아니니까.
He just watched his boss get absolutely murked, and he's still going. All right, I respect it. You're dead though, like you're very dead. But I can respect the, the audacity. There are very few gachas worth playing. I like Limbus. Limbus is absolutely one of them.
지킬 게
I liked
많거든.
Blue Archive, although the gameplay, I didn't like the gameplay of Blue Archive as much.
오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
But I liked the story and the characters of Blue Archive a lot. And I mean, really, when you're playing a gacha, like, you're not playing the gacha for the gameplay. Arknights has decent story, but the game is much more pay to win. Much more. Still doable, but not nearly as much as Limbus. Limbus Company, Blue Archive. My friend Sterling G. Brickman plays Nikkei, I'm pretty sure. So, if he says it's good, then I'm sure, I trust his judgment. If that's a fun game that's worth playing. We have a chatter here that plays, like, some gacha I've never heard before called, like... What was it called? Something about, like, crows or ravens? What else? Fate. Fate is one I kind of want to play because I like the characters and I like how they look, but I hear the gameplay. Punishing Grey Raven. Yes, that's the one. Fate, I like the characters in Fate, but I hear it's very, very, like, fiscally unfriendly. And I don't know what the gameplay is like at all. My Limbus just crashed. Dante. Mersalt, fix Alicia's Limbus Company. What are y'all's thoughts on reading some Albert Camus today? Once I'm done with the event. Or, once I'm sufficiently, like, exhausted of reading for 15 different characters at once. As a matter of fact, maybe jumping from an unvoiced Limbus Company event to Albert Camus for the ebook series is probably not a good idea, like, energy-wise. Maybe I should just, like, hop to, Balatro or something. We haven't played Balatro in forever. Some card swaps. You guys know what we really haven't played in a while? Now that I'm thinking about it. I think it's been a longer stretch of time since we've played Balatro than the amount of time it's been since we've played Mahjong. So I will go with a little bit of Balatro today, probably. Once I grow weary from the reading. Wait, I think they're heading to... He's running himself into a dead end. Are they seeking refuge at sea? Wait, that's where the ship is. That's where they're headed. They're trying to board the vessel Massos. Wait, but we never told them that the ship was repaired, so how... Ain't it obvious? The whole village is in on it. It ain't a surprise that they sent someone to spy on us, or they know a way to get to the ship floating even in its broken state. Vessel? Masas? Vessel Rebellion de Masas. De las Masas. That ship is moored at a port in that direction. Wait, it can't be! Irene, who was preoccupied with battling the rest of the followers of the Church of the Deep, who were in hiding, quickly gave chase. But Fabius and the villagers were already aboard the ship, slowly departing the harbor with a horde of sea terrors between us and them. How can a vessel of that size become operational this fast? It's the frame, it's the Otis teeth frame, I love her so much. Thanks for the posture check, Kaz, I'm fully straight-backed. I love Otis so much, chat. I love Otis more and more the more I play Limbus. Like, on my waifu, like, tier list chart, I think she's taken first place a while ago. I'm not gonna lie. She's so pretty. Anyways. The exterior... The name, it must have been constructed during the golden age of Iberia. But how was supposed to chase that? What if we built a raft and rode after them? Mate, come on. Sea's full of sea terrors, they won't get very far before it sinks. Ishmael wins on mine. Ishmael's always been a little bit lower on my waifu chart, but she's gained some points since Kanto 5. For me, it's Otis, then Don Quixote, then Faust. Otis, Donkey, Faust are my top 3. And then, you know, like Sinclair, Ishmael are somewhere beneath that. And I have to admit, but Ishmael is on mine. I have to. Do you mean you hate to admit? I don't know. Ishmael, I like Ishmael. She's just not like my type, I guess. Like, I think she's pretty, and I like her character, but I don't know. I guess she's just not exactly my flavor of waifu, since I like Otis so much more. I do have a type, chat. If you haven't noticed. All right. Do you see something, Amia? You keep looking at it. Ishmael's hair is gorgeous. I agree. She does have very, very, like, it is her, like, shining point. Her hair. Physically, I mean. And her freckles. She has freckles, right? It's very cute. I like the freckles. Any freckles heads in chat? The vessel Massa soon disappeared into the mist, and the village was left empty with nary a sign of people ever having been there, as though this getaway had all been premeditated. Hello, Mayors. Leaving only Mayors. I think we're gonna kill her with hammers for aiding and abetting treasonous heretics.
저놈들 무기까지 주어서 철수하자고.
7 out of 14, chat. We're almost there, and we've made good progress this stream. Ad break. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take a few minutes to stretch out, get some more water. You know, take care of myself a little bit so I don't die. I'll be right back, okay? Dinner's been eaten. Was tasty. What did you have for... I wonder what's for dinner. Every single time. Sorry, I know it's not funny anymore, but I like it, okay? I wonder what's for dinner. I'm a very 2011 internet kind of guy, you know? Gosh, I mean... Zelda YTPs like even predate that, honestly. My boy, this piece is what all true warriors strive for. Are we back? Hello? Hello? Hello, Flinko. Nice to meet you. Are we back? We are back, okay. Only thing we bought was the meat itself and the breading, otherwise fully homemade. Breaded cutlet and some fries made from fresh potatoes. Oh, that sounds really good. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and all I've had to eat was a sweet pastry and a cup of coffee. I promise I will eat a lot of, nutritional food after the stream, at least. If I don't break and, go for a midstream meal today. I really haven't streamed for, a long period of time in what feels like forever. Morel, did you eat your bread? I actually got a new loaf of bread, yesterday, I think? Yeah. I got a new loaf of bread yesterday. I still have my sweet bread here. I'm almost finished with it. So I suppose at any point in time, I can go get bread and cheese and chicken or something. I gotta make bread one of these days. Same, I love baking so much. I haven't done it in a while. Where is he at the event? This is stage 7. Damn it. Can't we just take any ship to go after it? It's a research vessel. It can't possibly be very fat. Hold on. This bread is very tasty and I want to finish it and finish my coffee. Bit before the first bastard. Wait, that wasn't the first bastard? You mean I didn't just fight the first bastard? That reminds me of one of my friends said how they were meant to make me some bread. That is a very sweet gesture. Oh, nah? Not a real friend if they didn't give you bread? I used to make bread for my friends all the time. When I was younger and still in high school, I had a Bible study group that I would make bread for every week. Miss those days. I miss having, friends and stuff. Anyways. Even if it is a research vessel, I'm sure it was constructed during the golden age of Iberia. No average ship can keep up with it. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and make cheese bread before stream, I've decided. Just make cheese bread on stream. Fivehead, Capuchungus Deluxe. I need to learn how to make bread. It's very simple. I've made bread many times, and it is super yummy. My favorite bread to make is a Turkish, almost pita bread, but not exactly. It's still leavened. It's literally just called Turkish bread as far as I can tell. Alright, let me check, because I feel like that's not the appropriate name for it, but that's, what it's called on the recipes that I learned from. It's like pide, but, I did need it, though. A lot of these recipes say it's no-need Turkish bread. Baslama? It's like Turkish, but I've also had it... It's not baslama. It's a Turkish bread, but I've also had similar breads from, not Bulgarian restaurants. It was a Serbian restaurant I went to in New York, and it had a very similar kind of bread, so it's just like a, Eastern Europe, almost Mediterranean kind of thing. It's my favorite kind of bread for sure. What was the name of that Serbian restaurant? What was the name of the meal I had there? I would love to repeat it right now, because it was some of the most delicious, spiced meat and bread I've ever had. Serbian meat and bread dish. Serbian cuisine. Maybe Wikipedia will have the name and I'll see it and be like, oh yeah, that's the one. I found a video. I'm gonna look this up now. Don't need to learn, just look up a YouTube tutorial, prepare the ingredients, and it's quite easy. Yeah, the process of actually baking bread is very simple. I mean, what? I can probably, list off most of what you need off the top of my head. You just take flour, water, a little bit of milk maybe, eggs maybe if you're feeling chivalrous, yeast, sugar, salt. You mix it together. You let it rise for a bit, then you knead it, then you let it rise some more, then you put it in the oven. What am I missing? Like, I could make bread right now without a recipe, I'm pretty sure, and it would taste pretty good. Some don't even need yeast, exactly. We call that unleavened bread. I prefer my bread leavened, though. Except on certain days of the year where, you know, I will eat unleavened bread in remembrance of Israel's plight in Egypt. Not that I'm Jewish, but I just find them important events to commemorate personally. Then on those days I will eat unleavened bread. What did I miss, Al? You probably remember how to... I haven't baked bread since I enlisted, like straight up. I enlisted and it's been a couple years because we didn't have cookware in our barracks. But now I live in a house again with an oven. And everything I'm pretty sure I have flour. It's really old flour, but it's not like flour goes bad, right? Flour doesn't have an expiration date, does it? Real question is, would I be trusted putting it in the oven? Lamau? Some self-baked bread would be nice, but my grocery store sells loaves of bread for super cheap, and they taste so good. So like, I haven't had it in me to bake my own bread in a while because I just get the French bread that my grocery store sells, and it's like $1 for a loaf, and the loaf lasts me like a whole week pretty much. I don't know how to make most stuff by hand, but I'm fairly good at following simple instructions, as long as they don't use American measurements. Measurements are for freaking yellow bellies anyways. You gotta eyeball that shit. Yeah, let me just put in, yeah, that seems like a good amount of salt, good amount of sugar. Yeah, that seems good. Good amount of yeast. A little bit of milk, maybe crack an egg yolk in there too. If you want to make like a more like brioche-ish bread. I almost never, once I've learned a recipe, I basically never measure when I cook it, like several times afterward. But I haven't cooked in a while, so it's hard to say that. I would probably end up burning something by accident. I like precise measurements, give me the exact grams I need for stuff. I'm an eyeball head, I'm the exact opposite of that. So, where were we in this? Something's a problem because I doubt we have any ship that can travel at the same speed. We only have a few small vessels left, which are all anchored too far from this location to be feasible options. Do we have any recourse? No, not unless we can identify the exact location of the vessel. Which is the real problem. We can find ourselves a ship to go after them, yes, but most eyes of Iberia, the lighthouses, were lost during the profound silence. Wait. When you say most, do you mean that there's some left? Just one, as far as I know. The one in Gran Faro, but that lighthouse cannot be used at the moment. There is another. I once fucked up because of American measurements, put in double the amount of flour actually needed for pancakes. It was horror. Okay. What, like imperial, like cups and quarts and ounces, I guess we use? To measure volume, specifically? There's a lighthouse you can use. Really? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I'm not voicing like all 6 interjections of like characters like, oh, what? Really? Are you sure? Like, is that true? Like, Grok, is this real? Once we saw that Mayers was left all on her own, we decided to have her accompany us at all times and keep her within Irene's eyeshot. We couldn't possibly blame her for what happened, given Scotty's confirmation that she doesn't have anything to do with those sea monsters. Besides, they'd all left her behind. But Irene still seemed to harbor a bit of suspicion. The problem with Aegid is that she simply knows too much. Where could she possibly have gained access to all that information? See? She can't even answer that question. But let's think about it this way. What if we were to ask her what we don't know? What? Hey, Wilson. He's sitting in the sun. He's a very happy boy. Calm and relaxed. Cute cat. But yeah, I'll probably wake up at like 1 p.m. tomorrow and make some cheese bread. That is an interesting sleep schedule. But let's think about it this way. What if we were to ask her what we don't know? I guess it is a Friday tomorrow. The location of that lighthouse, for example. They're ticking rapidly. What do they say? I might just get a whole loaf of bread just to eat. Delicious. We are breadheads in this chat. We most certainly are. We love bread, don't we, folks? I'm so unique and quirky, I like bread. Dante says that we should approach it differently and ask her what we don't know, like the location of the lighthouse. What kind of bread, though? I like French bread, I like Turkish bread, I like Serbian bread. I like Texan biscuits, you know, what are they called? Like, garlic... What are they called? It's not like garlic bread, but, Texas biscuits. Honey butter biscuits. Oh my, that does sound very good, actually. Honey butter biscuits. So we, in America, I don't know if this restaurant chain is anywhere across the Atlantic. In America, we have this restaurant chain called Red Lobster. At which Kanto am I? I am at the very beginning of Kanto 6. So by doing this event, I'm technically spoiling myself on a few things. But so far, everything I've read in reference to Kanto... Oh yeah, 7. In reference to Kanto 7 and 8, like, has been, like, lacking context, so... You know, you're right, 7. Don Quixote's Kanto. So, yeah, anything past, like, the starting point of Kanto 7 and everything in Kanto 8, I don't know. I'm doing this event because it's a highly requested event by chat. So I'm proceeding with the assumption that I'm not going to get spoiled on anything. The best Kanto, I say. Kanto 6? Sorry, I'm too much of a Yi song head. I like Kanto 4 the most. It's 7. Wait, I thought you liked Kanto 6 the most. Of the 6 that I've played, I think my number 1 is Kanto 4. And then numbers 2 and 3 are either 5 or 6, obviously. But there's a bit of a spoiler at the end of the event, not much of one, but you do get a location. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. Alright. Let's hear it. I won't interrogate you about how you have access to things that even us Inquisitors don't know. At least not right now. Faro Muerto. Dead Lighthouse. That's our village name. Somewhere a little ways off the coastline, there's an intact Eye of Iberia on the sea that was almost destroyed when the profound silence swept through. Morel, did you hydrate? I did. I don't know when you redeemed the hydrate, but I did take a sip of water. Sometime very recently. Thank you very, very much. Off the coastline? Is it not connected to the land? I think it used to be until it sank. We should be able to procure ourselves enough wooden material from the village to build a raft. Is it near enough for a raft to be the means of access? The weather's not great today, but it should do. It's not very far from the coast. Even you're gonna trust the Aegir? I don't see why I shouldn't. I understand that Iberian mistrust of the Aegir is quite profound, yet such sentiment is hollow to the rest of us. I'm genuinely excited about making cheese bread tomorrow. Every time you mention it, I get a little bit hungrier. And, like, get a little bit closer to getting my fresh baked loaf of bread that I bought yesterday out from my kitchen and eating it with some cheese slices. So you didn't harbor any hostility nor disgust. Not that you would have felt any sense of sympathy or empathy either. I have no history of feelings for or against the Aegir. Such must be the same for the outsiders. What's she on about? She's conveying that, in matters regarding to mayors, our opinions are more objective than Irene's. Finding the vessel Fabius commandeered will be of benefit to all. Limbus Company will gain an opportunity to return to the city via the dimensional door, while Rhode Island will have the chance to study it at a closer proximity. And then the Inquisition will gain possession of the vessel, in which the technology from the Iberian Golden Age is contained. What? You're gonna just hand that over to the Inquisition? Why should we covet what was once Iberia's? I'm doing Cromer right now. Kanto 3. Peak, perhaps? Well, there are certainly aspects to that vessel that draw interest. I already have a state-of-the-art masterpiece known as Mephistopheles. Quite fond of Cromer, I think. She is not fun. Yeah, but she is... Okay, chat. I have a confession to make. Cromer is also very high on my waifu list for this game. I might like Evil Woman a little bit. Might be one of my weaknesses, I'm not gonna lie. As long as that can be guaranteed, I see no reason to refuse. Irene eventually agreed to put her trust in Mayers. You're in luck, Executive Manager. It is quite fortunate that our interests aligned. Okay, Morel, that is fair and same. Interests aligned exactly with that of the first strangers we encountered in a strange land. Morel, since you know more about bread, how bad is it if I substitute yeast for baking powder? Yeast for baking powder? Baking powder. I can't imagine... Because baking powder is, like, more or less the reagent that gives bread its like, form and, like, composure. So I think you'd get, like, a strangely... Your bread, like, wouldn't have the right consistency. I want to say, but it might be fine. I don't think it would affect the taste too much. All right, I'll get that for tomorrow too. Then, yeah. If you're out getting groceries, you might as well get some yeast. Baker's got to have some yeast on hand, man. Lucky is right. If we were back in the city, it would have taken them like 3 or 4 free distortion hunts for us to come to this agreement. Sorry about having to saddle you with this, Mayers. Please, lead us to the lighthouse. Okay, happily. So when you said almost destroyed, how almost destroyed is it? I heard that the light faded from the lighthouse a long time ago, but the shape still stands. At least it was when I saw it a few months ago. If the lighthouse is in an inoperable state, we're going to need an expert technician to get it back in working order. The technology it's based on is completely divorced from the proper application of Originum technology, so I doubt there's anyone out there that can work it anymore. Then you needn't worry about that. Here, we have an engineer and a researcher who are geniuses even among those in the city, so we should be able to manage most mechanical failures. Today is just revelation after revelation, huh? Thing is, I'm making pan bread. Interesting. I can vouch for Limbus Company's skills. I can also work on the simpler tasks. I've learned a thing or two helping out Gramps. Stuff about the lighthouse or various tech stuff. Well then, should we all head to the lighthouse together? No, I'll be leaving the group for a moment. Amiya will accompany you instead. Wait, what do you mean, take back the lighthouse? Is there someone or something out there that's taken over the lighthouse called the Eye of Iberia? A likely supposition. There is a high likelihood that the structure has already been overrun by sea terrors. I don't know about overrun, but I've encountered them a few times when we approached it too closely. There are no restrictions as long as Dante, the manager... Sorry, I'm kind of giving you guys the cliff notes, because it's been a lot of reading today already. However, do note that the battle efficiency depreciates with prolonged battle due to mounting mental stress on the manager. Amiya, use this communicator to alert me as soon as you're able to identify coordinates of the vessel from the lighthouse. So I don't know how much it'd rise anyways. Well, it's gonna rise a little less from not like standing in the oven while it's baking, but it should still rise a lot if you just leave it to rise before like cooking it. If luck would have it, we should be able to reduce the time it takes to complete the retrieval mission. Alright. Righto. Step 1 of the plan's the raft, right? Let's get on with it. Can do, I guess. Why am I so excited to make bread? It's fun. Thanks to Scotty, who had already finished the first step of the plan, we were able to move on to step 2 immediately. Ah, my back. My poor aching back. I got cookies. Bread is peak, bread is cool. Bread is nice and good to eat. We have 5 more stages, chat. 5 more stages. The heck is this? Nether Sea Founder. Is this the first bastard? Where? I'm gonna assume this is the first bastard. He has some unbreakable coins, and so does he. Ay, ay, ay. Red, so close to the bastard. They changed their UI a little bit. I don't remember passives like flaring up like this. Project Moon like actually color coding and giving us like flashing lights to show us what's important because like Limbus players don't read otherwise. I mean, sure, I like it. So it's like a positional thing, I guess. I don't really know. I have no way to manipulate the position of my characters or enemies in a fight, so like...
이번 작품에 대해 논의할 시간이다.
Oh, Peak is playing. Holy shit. After a while of carefully sailing on Scotty's raft along the coastal cliffs, a gargantuan, shrouded lighthouse emerged from the thick mist. Eye of Iberia. I ran out of coffee, but I still got sodies and my water. Even in its dilapidated, ruined state, touches that are at once monumental and sensitive are apparent on the exterior construction of the lighthouse. I think my Yi Song impression is my strongest out of all the sinners, which makes sense because Yi Song's like the character I connect to the most emotionally and like spiritually. So of course, like I just nail his voice. What do you guys think though? How's my Yi Song impression? I think his voice is also just a little easier to imitate than other sinners, but it's very like defined, you know, like it's clear and distinct to see like he's like half whispering and like he's kind of letting his vocal cords like what's the word, like he hardly even like fully opens his mouth. Like you can see he's kind of always muttering. He's kind of always muttering like just under his breath. So his like not even his like throat is like fully opened to release sound, and that like rumbling is the sound waves like having to push through his throat. So it's like almost like a half glottal stop, not really glottal, but like behind the glottis it's like half closed. So everything he says always has that timbre of like a low rolling whispering cadence. Alicia, don't you dare call him the bastard. You played on normal and one-tried him. I'm not reading the Arknights characters anymore. I'm too tired. I'm only gonna read for Yi Song and Dante, and maybe Gregor and Heathcliff, and Otis and Faust. So, the sinners. I'll read for the sinners, but I'm just gonna mentally read for the Arknights characters, because I don't even know what they sound like. I just gave them voices. :3. That's crazy. The absolute smugness, like the aura of smugness that message exudes. Can you please not say scary stuff like that, Miss Irene? We are literally about to walk into one. Don't you ever quit chirping? Stop yapping in my ear. That's crazy. Sinclair the yapper. Not a coward, I'm just voicing my... She did say some pretty concerning stuff. How long do you think the repairs will take? This exterior is rather heavily damaged. However, Hajiman, got any tips on Cromer? It kind of depends on like what IDs you're using. What's the team you're using? Wait, you're on Cromer? Like, you're on Kanto 3? Watching my stream might be a spoiler for you, I'm not gonna lie, but... boss is very straightforward, not many hidden mechanics if I recall correctly. Yeah, you just gotta bring, like, strong IDs. If you're struggling with her, just level up your IDs some more, I wanna say. But I just don't know which IDs you're using, like, if you... Because, I had some pretty good IDs by the time I got to Cromer, and she wasn't that difficult for me. I had like Efflores song already, so he's pretty good. He kind of carried me in the Cromer fight. My best is all Ryoshu. Not sure which one that is. All Ryoshu. Its exterior is rather heavily damaged, Hajiman. From what is visible on the outside, its interior is still quite intact. That's the new one, I think. And yeah. Little brother Sinclair is very good. Put points into that guy, and he should absolutely carry your Cromer fight. Just put more XP into him if you're struggling with Cromer, I want to say. Do some, some Luxcavations, stuff like that. And just remember she has a second phase, so like don't waste any materials until, well, I don't know if you've reached the second phase or not, so that might have been like a bad spoiler. Like, try not to waste your skill 3s and your resources before you kill her, quote-unquote, once. Whether or not you were aware of the second phase. With Miss Faust's expertise, it should not take very long. I have, don't worry. Yisong suggested with a smile, but Faust maintained her silence for the entire journey to the lighthouse. And said something pretty concerning in response? Of course, my wit remains unmarred even in such uncertainties. Oh.
Hey G, would you make me a sandwich?
Hey, thanks for the follow. No. Oh, you sure you can handle this alone? I know you're strong, but maybe one or two people should stay behind just in case. Getting a little bit closer to the Grigor imitation. Okay. Oh, thanks for explaining. Some people can't help but hop through an extra hoop, I guess. Well then, let's trust her. I gotta do something like really specific with my like mouth to make the right noise come out for Grigor's like timbre. It's like I almost have to like make a O shape with my lips with most words that like yeah, for his accent. I don't know, I can't explain it very well. Luckily, we didn't run into any sea terrors on our way to the lighthouse gates. The problem was that the gates were bound shut by strange blue tissues. Reminds me of that Elcor branch back at Ucor, though that one was white. I don't think I can do anything to force it open myself, so... Guys, can you pry open this door? Oi, move over. I'll pull from the right side, you grab the left, and... we'll all pull together at 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Huh? Something's off here. The door is firmly secured in place. This flesh tissue regenerates almost as soon as it's torn. Perhaps you'll need to tap into a wilder form of art to get this opened. Well, what now? She's already fighting off sea terrors. So we're all on our own. Maybe there's an identity card or ego I could use to get through this. So which one? Just as I was pondering a familiar question, a faint black glow came into view, then devoured my sight. It's no intuition or inspiration. It's different from those sudden flashes of realization. And it's not the star of that day that I think of from time to time. It's not the horrible door that I see every time I turn the clock, either. The formless and black space in which I am not permitted to see. A faint noise, a whisper, cuts through it. And through that opening, I see light. I reach out to the opening and see Skadi, born from a very, very warm gaze. Skadi? Powerful imagery crashes unto me like the waves. Skadi, a staggering dancer wielding a blade. Skadi, who flaunts her flowing locks. And Skadi, the singer, humming in a low voice. Beyond the fringes of cognition, Skadi's existence has become engraved. The sinner who can wrestle and control this oceanic tidal power is... I'm good, and I don't think we'll need to send for Skadi. Hey, Ishmael, I've never used this ego before, but I need you to trust me and accept it. An ego? I nod quietly. Her confusion is short-lived. She lets a carefree laughter before stepping forward, boldly twirling her mace once more. Wow.
한눈 팔지 마세요.
I have this ego.
맹활은 당신에게 파도는 반드시 밀려올 테니.
Sorry, I didn't think it'd be this strong. Well, the door's open. What are we waiting for? What, the part where I suddenly changed into a different outfit and equipped a different personality? That is! This is most fascinating. That an ego could be drawn here, in lieu of the mirror of Mephistopheles. I think I connected to Amiya's subconscious mind. There was a strange, unfamiliar light. And I saw Amiya's emotions attached to her memories and experiences, so I just reached out to them. My subconscious mind? I just had a feeling that it would work. Sorry about peering without asking first. But I didn't see anything other than things about Skadi. All I needed were memories and emotions that can be used to understand the being that is Skadi. Interesting. You would not believe that Ishmael thigh lovers are going wild for this ego? I would, man. Thighs are peak. Thighs are peak. Verily, of course, Limbus Company's ego is quite distinguished from the other kind of ego, which are bloomed from within oneself. That is enough. No further information is to be divulged to outsiders. Yet it matters not with whether young mayors and the young Amiya learn of this. I agree with that fool this time. The Inquisitor used an artillery projectile that penetrates the outer wall. Several of them, in fact, of a building, and the head did not pursue her following that breach of taboo. This is clearly not the city. Dawn is being dawned. No, don't cut off Dawn. Faust, why? Faust is evil. Ain't it better to let her talk her heart out than to hear her moan and whine about not being able to say anything? Tell me about it, Heathcliff. I love it. Dude, they're throwing, like... the sinners have teeth, man. The sinners have teeth in this interval. Is this... Am I crazy for, like, recognizing this? Like, they never have teeth in their sprites. Not like this, at least. I am convinced. Do as you will, then. Wait, they never did it? No, I mean, they've had, like, teeth in some of their sprites, but, like, that one Otis icon. You know? They finally developed teeth. They are growing up so fast. Oh my gosh. But everyone was too busy to pay attention to her as the wet, slithering noise from a distance had put everyone on edge. I think any sea terrors from the sea are all converging around Scotty, which means our only roadblocks are sea terrors still lingering around the lighthouse. Let's go. Let's take this lighthouse back. No one lives beneath the lighthouse. Nether Sea Founder. Can I just win rate this? That guy had like a really strong passive and he has unbreakable coins. But I bet I can still just win rate this. Yes, technically. Technically, you could.
그 삶의 마침표를.
방금 멋졌어. 너희들의 사랑의 힘이, 빛의 힘이, 저 어둡고 악한
Full stop to life.
예상한 것보다 움직임이 더
승리도
좋구나.
시간 문제겠지?
하지만. No, Don Quixote, please. Oh, okay.
뭐야 이 수치는? 아까 어떤 직원이
Nether Sea
제 앞에
Founder.
한 번에 입힌 피해량이야. 잠깐.
Strange thing. Strange looking sea terror, I must say. Fuck it. We win rating. We are Astro win rating, I think. I have freaking 8 sinners on the battlefield, man. It would take so long for me to just select all their moves manually.
다시 못 살게 구는 일은 없을 것이오.
제압 효과가 굉장히 좋았어. 기록적인 피해량인 것 같아.
Of a lonely heart. What the fuck is this? Hand of the Saint. Device.
너희만 괜찮다면 혹시 우리를 도와서
Okay, so once I kill that big, the Nether Sea Founder, who's like moving around, I've noticed he's moving around.
내가 정말
Once I kill him, Shishige.
아쉽다.
Right.
그치?
그쪽도 죄인인가?
Shishige.
저 시시게 해냈구나. 나라도 그랬을 거야.
The absolute fucking poverty team comp, man. I have got to do my like excavations and mirror dungeons and shit again. One day I will run a real team comp chat with like actual synergies.
다시 못 살게 구는 일은 없을 것이오.
간다.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
뭐야 이 수치는? 아까 어떤 직원이 제압 개체에 한 번에
Dude, this thing takes no damage, by the way. Oh yeah, it's one of its passives. He takes like half damage to everything. At least. I think some things literally do 0 damage to him if it's times 0.5, minus 0.5. Limbus down. I will be on mute, but here's my view, King. Thank you very much, Alice. Thank you for the lurk. Appreciated greatly. And have a good enjoy your day. Limbus Company. It's peak, I'm afraid.
피워보지.
This is the Umineko Enjoyer we raided a couple days ago, if you guys remember that. I think it was a week ago, actually.
차라리
제압 개체에게 맞는 정상적인 공격이야.
용서할
잘했어. 키페리트.
Keep
당연한 걸 한 것 가지고 굳이 칭찬할 필요 없어.
Dude, that thing is so strong.
간다. 홍로.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
There's 25 enemies, bro. Long ass fight. Very long fight.
불렀는가?
Thank you for the hydrate, Kaz. It's been too long since I took a sip of my water cup. Good sir, I will.
훌륭하군요. 이제 깨우치시게.
옳다.
Wet my parched lips.
좋아. 순탄하구만.
움직임이 어설퍼요.
Oh, we staggered him. We staggered both of them. Oh, huge, huge. Oh, fuck it. This is faster. Excuse me. I think things get a little more difficult when I kill the big ones, though. We're gonna drop the Nether Sea area. Shouldn't matter too much.
지키기 위해서.
Oh, we didn't kill them, man.
아까 어떤 직원이 제압 개체에 한 번에 입힌
Oops.
피해를. 잠깐. 진짜? 왜 부서 팀장을 안 달아줬지?
피워보지.
Something off about the deep sea terrors. I'm thinking there might be like a hive mind aspect going on here
한 점만 노린다.
of sorts. At the very least, they're like being commanded by.
머리통에 적살났다.
Thank you, Heathcliff. Freaking one-shot the entity that it took the other sinners like 7 turns to kill.
지키기 위해서. 나도
Thank you,
지킬 게
thank you.
많거든.
시오나라.
다시 못살게 구는 일은 없을 것이오.
그 삶에 마침표를.
운명의 기운이 공명하는 것 같아. 그 공격을 선택한 건 좋았던 것
Yeah, we can
같네.
damage this now. Remove all Nether Sea brand. Okay, we just need to hit it once with our fastest guy. Yeah, we just hit it with our fastest guy and we're chilling, I guess. That was easy.
사격 개시.
흐드러졌구려.
있잖아.
And it's over.
마법 소녀들은
And it's
유령난에
over.
시달리거든.
막아내지 못할.
너희만 괜찮다면
유쾌한
우리를
결투였네.
도와줘.
유효하군.
아니야.
영원히 잠들어.
그건 숫자. 악당 퇴치 성공. 오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
Arcana?
내일도 꼭 불러주기야.
Bitch.
세상이
Do they ever shut up,
정도적으로
man?
우리 사무소를 막을 수 있을 줄 알았냐?
Holy shit.
저놈들
Excuse
무기까지
me.
줘서 철수하자고.
I think it's now time for the bastard. Very easy on normal mode. Very well.
순수했던 나날로.
주분께서 너희에게 거는 기대가 크더군. 최선을 다해라.
주군께서는 사소한 실수로 책잡지 아니하시니 너무 긴장하지 말고 임하게.
The bastard time. Oh wait, never mind, I don't think. It's just more deep sea terrors. Dude, I just had to kill 25 of them. Did I click on the right thing?
아르카나를 처리하지 못한 나는
Go kill another 25?
아니
Seriously?
어쩌면 내가
여지 운이 좋았던 것뿐이지.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I clicked on the same mission or not.
지금껏 우리가 판 땅이
Murder another 25.
애고 침식도
Seaborns are horrible things.
아마도.
They are also like Legion. Feel free to borrow my units where you don't have the egos.
주군께서는
I have the
사소한
egos
실수로
for
책잡지
all three of.
아니하시니
I got all three egos
너무
already.
긴장하지 말고 임하게.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. You know what? I kind of forgot that support identities existed. Aren't there 4?
쓸모없는 존재.
Oh yeah, I don't have the one that you actually spend scrolls to get. I think Ishmael's.
내가
That's a fair
여지
point.
운이 좋았던 것뿐이지.
That's a fair point actually. I could be getting plus
아,
160% instead of plus 120%.
배가 고프다면 저기 보이는
And yeah, you sent me your code a while ago, and I was too lazy to add you because I didn't play Limbus like since you sent that pretty much. There's a freaking pain in like close to my stomach. It's really weird. What is this? What could this be? It's like, what is it? I think it's a muscle. I think it's a muscular pain. Like something like close to my abdomen. But I don't know. What if it's an organ? Fuck me. My doctor's appointment is in November, man. The price you pay for free healthcare. I have like a dozen things to get checked up on right now. Okay, I sent the request. I am getting another call. I'll be right back. An important call, specifically. Alright, I told them to call me back later. Because it wasn't specifically about like any doctor visit or anything, so I'm like, it's not that important. What is this, like, muscular, like, what is this feeling, like, this sensation? It's not, like, very painful, it's just, I feel like a sort of, like, pressure in my right abdomen. I'm doing a quick Google search. WebMD, pressure in right abdomen. Cancer, you have cancer, you have cancer. You have cancer. One significant concern is appendicitis. No, man, no. No. It's not. I don't have appendicitis. Where is the appendix in your body? Appendix in body. Oh fuck, that's like exactly where I feel a strange sensation. Okay, I might have to go to the hospital soon if this gets any worse, but right now it's just like a sensation, like there's no pain. It might be because of my seating posture or something. Okay. Let's see here. I'm sure someone else has the Ishmael ego equipped as well on their company. Therefore, support Ishmael. Someone, at least someone does. Yeah, we're gonna take you as a backup. Thank you.
어머, 부탁드려요.
Fuck, and I've been feeling like unwell these last couple days.
주군께서는 사소한
It
실수로
might be.
책잡지
I might have to go to the hospital
너무
like
긴장하지 말고
tomorrow. Not to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but yeah, this is not pleasant. Excuse me. Sorry.
그쪽도 죄인인가?
차포잡이라 예상한 것보다 움직임이 더 좋구나.
그 삶의 마침표를! 히스클리프, 지금
공로 지원한다.
제압 개체에게 맞는 정상적인 공격이야. 잘했어. 키페리트. 당연한 걸 한 것 가지고 굳이 칭찬할 필요 없어.
We'll see how this develops.
어머해줘.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
Are you going trick-or-treating? Then with the update, if you got me added, you can yoink my Ishmael. Very well. Thank you very much.
타겟 포착 1시 방향.
Yeah, I'm just gonna win right through this one a little bit harder than I did last time. I didn't realize I'd have to do the same thing again. Using tank Ishmael, which is the best for the bastard if you're somehow having trouble. Puncturing of life.
지키기 위해 나도 지킬 게 많거든.
Punk.
방금 멋졌어. 너희들의 사랑의 힘이
And he is activated. We will kill him. We will win rate, and then we will kill him.
이대로면
The device, the hand of the saint. I was talking with Alicia earlier, and on hard mode, it took her over 10 tries and 67 turns. Ay ay ay.
제압 효과가 굉장히 좋았어. 기록적인 피해량인 것 같아.
무용하군요.
다시 못살게 구는 일은 없을 것이오.
어머해줘.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
It really is. I will probably. Are there any rewards for doing this shit on hard mode? Like,
항상 인력난에
because if there aren't, like, I'm just not even gonna bother. Like, what's the what's the point?
괜찮다면 혹시 우리를 도와줘.
죄인인가?
Yeah, lunacy. Ay ay ay.
그건 선택의 순간이 필요하니까. 내가 정할 순 없겠네. 아쉽다. 그치?
나도 지킬 게 많거든.
간다. 너.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
Not the lunacy. Well, now I have to. Now I have to do it. I will need to go as my dinner is ready. Enjoy dinner, Alicia.
틈을 끊어 이제 깨우치시게.
I might have to call the stream early to lie down. Honestly,
그랬을 거야.
I was gonna jump to another game, but like if this discomfort slash pain like continues to get worse,
다시 못살게 구는
it
일은
really
없을
feels more
것이오.
muscular than anything because like I feel it more the more I speak, which is like, you know, a strain on my abdomen as I'm projecting into my microphone.
운명의 기운이 공명하는 것 같아.
Strange
그
thing.
공격을 선택한 건 좋았던 것 같네.
알레.
지키기 너도 누군가에게 맡겨졌겠지만
저 시시게.
옳다.
What the fuck, man? Why? Why? Why does win rating? Oh, that's damage. Okay, well, results not much better. All right. Why would it do this? Honglu's gonna have to reload here in a sec. Thank you for the lurk, Ali. Yep, that discomfort's getting a bit worse. I really wanted to finish the event today, but I think I have to lie down for a while, and if it gets worse from there, I will go to the hospital.
다시 못살게 구는 일은 없을
어렵지
것이오.
I
않지?
might be
이미
overreacting, but
관찰 기록에 있는 유형대로만 공격하면 되잖아.
this is very strange to me.
관찰 기록을 잘 읽은 것 같네. 훌륭했어.
Gotta finish this stage at least, though.
죄인인가?
물렁하군요. 지키기 위해서.
그 삶에
I should still have
마침표를.
insurance for a hospital visit. I want to say.
다시 못 살게 구는 일은 없을 것이오.
Hey, ow. Oh my gosh, wait, is he... He triggered both of their counters with his fucking AoE and he didn't even do any damage.
아까 어떤
Is Yi-sung
직원이
stupid?
제압 개체에 한 번에 입힌
He stopped doing
피해량이야.
that, man.
잠깐. 진짜? 왜 부서 팀장을 안 달아줬지?
타겟 포착 1시 방향.
이제 깨치시게.
피어나라.
유효하군.
Yes, man. I wanted exactly 5 of you to go into the guy with fucking 6 health left. Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted.
불가 위야. 막아내지 못하리. 틈을 끊어. 차라리
어머해줘.
여긴 맡겨주세요. 다음 목표로.
There we go. Okay.
오늘도 정말 멋진 활약이었어.
I'm gonna find a place to drop you guys off, because I need to lie down right now.
세상이 평
예전보다 많이 나아진 것 같다. 나도.
I have no idea what this is, but it went from like
이제
a
가을을 내려준 아이가
noticeable
없어졌지.
sensation to
다시 관리를 맡겨주시니까.
palpably just like discomforting in the span of a couple minutes. I will continue to monitor
식사.
my health.
기고단에서는 식사가
Hope you feel better soon.
금지되어
Thank you. I will. I'm just gonna lie down
저기 보이는
and drink some more
출구로
water.
오른쪽으로 꺾어보게.
Like I said, I've been feeling a little sick these last 2 days, but it was nothing like this so far. Hold on. Pain. Apologies, chat. I really, really would love to play more and read more and hang out more, and it's been a really, really fun 3 hours. We're gonna raid Ferret today. We haven't raided him in a while. He hasn't streamed in a while, so let's give the Ferret a hello and some love and a welcome back to his streaming, because he's been on like a brief, unofficial hiatus, so to speak. Ay, ay, ay. So yeah, you know, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for keeping the stream fun and engaging. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for viewing. Invalid username. Oops. Named Ferret. There we go. With a D. Choose and have a wonderful day. Same to you, Al. Streaming always lightens my mood up. I've been feeling like shit all week, like physically sick. I think it's stress. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's stress. I think even this, like, sudden onset right abdomen pain is probably stress too. Even though I've been in, like, a pretty good mood today. Odds are I think it's stress. So I'm gonna lie down for a bit. It is, okay, it's, like, getting concerningly, like, more painful, like, with more time that passes. Or maybe I'm just focusing on it more, but, what? Okay, it's like, sorry, I know none of y'all are doctors, but it's like it's not even my lower right abdomen, it's radiating up almost to my, like, rib cage. I'll post pictures of the bread for tomorrow. Oh, lovely. Yeah, okay, if it doesn't get better in like 30 minutes, I'm gonna call a doctor or like a hospital or something, or something. Okay, but you know, don't worry about me, guys. I'll be fine. And thank you for hanging out, and I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.